Andariki Namaskaramulu. Today we are going to have a webinar from P.S. Murthy garu. He is well known to all of us. He is going to talk on palmistry today and its relevance, and he will address various questions on its relevance. And we'll start the session with Vande Mataram and then Prarthana. After that, I will briefly introduce him to all of you, though he doesn't need any introduction. Because he has been taking a lot of webinars to all of us, and also he is one of the students of our advanced course. Okay, now I'll request Chakravarti garu.
Yes, sir.
To recite Vande Mataram, please.
Sarvebhyaः namaste. Vande Mataram Sujalam Sufalam Malayasasitalam Sasya Syamalam Mataram Vande Mataram Suprajosna Pulakitayamini Pullakusumita Dumadala Vashini Suhasini Sumadurabhashini Sukadam Varadam Mataram Vande Mataram.
Vande Mataram. Dhanyavadamulanడి Chakravarti garu. Now let us request B.R.C. Murthy garu to chant Prarthana, please.
सर्वेभ्यो नमस्कारः। ॐ गणानां त्वा गणपतिं भवामहे कविं कवीनामुपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनं प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती तीनामवित्र्यवतो वाग्देव्यै नमः। गुरुरेव प्रभुम्। ओम नमस्कार।
Dhanyavadamulanడి Murthy garu. And now I will briefly introduce P.S. Murthy garu to all of you. P.S. Murthy garu, it is my privilege to introduce you to the participants. He has served in Government of Andhra Pradesh Secretariat as Joint Director in IT and Communication Department. And in various capacities, he visited Dubai, Singapore, Thailand, Malaysia, Japan, and various other countries to bring the IT to our country. In addition to the much recognized acclaim through a number of letters, awards, and certificates of appreciation from various government and foreign industry associations, award and merit certificates received from the Honorable Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh for outstanding services in 2010. He is MCOM, MBA, and PG Diploma in Computer Applications and gold medalist in Astrology, Jyotish, and Visharada, and silver medalist in Palmistry. So I request now Murthy garu to take over and then conduct the webinar, please. Murthy garu. Murthy, do you hear me? No problem.
Good evening, sir. Am I audible?
Now audible.
Yes, good evening, sir. Andarki namaskaramulu, Mahodayalandarki. Today is a very good day and great day also. So, again, an opportunity for me to come before you and express my observations or views on a topical interest. Today topic which I have chosen is astrology and palmistry. Prior to that, I'll just make a small prayer and then I'll go to the.
కొద్దిగా తక్కువగా వినిపిస్తోంది.
Yeah. So prior to that, I'll go into the prayer and then I'll start the presentation. Can you see my presentation?
Okay, go ahead.
My presentation is visible?
No.
Not visible?
First you do prarthana, after that you do the presentation.
Yeah. Okay. वक्रतुंडम महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देवा सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणी विद्यारंभं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा ज्ञानानंदमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधार सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवम् उपास्महे सदाशिवसमारम्भं शंकराचार्य मध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्य पर्यंतम वंदे गुरु परंपरम. So friends, today I have selected a topic of interest on the palmistry branch of astrology, whether it is pseudo or occult or a real science. So this is the subject I have chosen. So I would like to, because a promising. Sir, hope my presentation is visible.
You have to do the.
Hello, sir. Sir, my presentation is visible.
No, you have to share it.
Oh, I need to share it. Okay. No, now it has come. I think no.
Not yet.
Now, sir? It has come now.
లేదండి.
Okay, 1 minute. Now, sir.
ఇప్పుడు వచ్చింది కానీ PS Murthy has started screen sharing.
Yeah. So, sir, good evening. Today, my topic of interest is about palmistry and its relevance to astrology, a branch of Vedanga, and there were some misnomers or confusions
ఒక నిమిషం
or notions.
PPT మీద నొక్కండి. PPT కనబట్టలేదు. స్క్రీన్ కనిపిస్తుంది కానీ PPT కనబట్టలేదు.
Okay. Okay, sir.
లేదు, PPT మీద మీరు నొక్కండి. PPT కనబట్టలేదు.
So, good evening, all. We have come to a thinking that nowadays we have a lot of confusion and misnorm, and also
in common parlance, there is a notion that palmistry or hastavidya is not rational, but based on blind beliefs. So, as a practicing palmist or a member of the Indian Council of Astrological Sciences, today I would like to put before the platform that palmistry is neither a pseudoscience nor it is based on blind beliefs. It is mostly logical and rational also. And there is also a misnomer that palmist tries to cheat the public basing on their pseudo knowledge, cashing on human weaknesses. Yes, of course, because exploitation in the society happens strong over the weak. Strong people or strong state of the society will always try to exploit to the weak people to a certain extent for their either individual benefit or for their materialistic approach. But to misuse any shastra is not appropriate or good for the society. And there is also another argument that rekhas, that means the lines formed on the palm of a person, are automatically or biologically formed because of the fact that when the child in the womb of a mother at the age of 4 months or fourth month onwards, the child trying to get the shape, starts getting the developing the hands, legs, and all the body parts and all those things. So at that time, what happens? Due to the space in the womb, so it will fold its hands, a baby. So because a baby folded its hands in the woman's womb, because of the pressing, automatically lines are formed. Because the skin is tender, it's only flesh, no skin. Skin formation will happen in due course before 9th month. So the argument is that these lines are there because of the scratches like on the hand. So they don't have any scientific approach, or from them something can be inferred about past, present, future life of an individual. Either maybe it is Sanchita karma or Prarabdha karma or Agam karma. What would be the fate? What would be free will? We will not be able to identify from those hands. That is another argument. Yes, in such a case, as a layman, I will ask, if the hands are folded by a baby, and then if the hands are folded by a baby, and then if and the legs are and their what we say, their legs are also folded in the womb. So what happens when the body is getting folded? Naturally, all bodies should look alike. That is my point. All fingers, all hands should look like. Is it happening? No. Why? Because even two hands of a same person are not alike. The length of fingers, the size of fingers, they are also not equivalent. The lines are also not same lines as we find in left hand to right hand. So, similarly, all the fingers and thumb in all human beings are not the same or alike. No, but maybe this looks like an unwarranted debate or argument. But I want to today, in today's session, I want to throw light on whether the subject of palmistry is part of Vedanga or Sanatana Dharma, or it is based on facts or analysis. If it is so, if it is the part or branch of Vedanga, if we accept the Dharma Shastras as our rituals, a part of Vedanga we cannot ignore or simply brush away. So this is my viewpoint. I am trying to encapsulate all my today's talk on these a few points. So we know Hindu scriptures and all. That is my other. I will share the slide in the group. So absolutely there is no problem. So today there is some problem with my presentation. I don't know why. So it is very unfortunate. I'm sorry. So now the third slide which I'm trying to explain is that we have our scriptures. Everybody knows scriptures are the Shrutis and Smritis. This every class we have been hearing. So I will not elaborate. Under Smritis, this Dharma Shastras, Puranas, and then the Itihasas, Darshanas, and Upa Vedas are there. Under the Vedangas and Agamas are there. Under Vedanga, this Jyotisha comes as the fifth one. So Siksha, Kalpa, Vyakarana, Nirukta, Jyotisha, and Chandasa. These are the branches of Vedangas. So out of the Angas of Veda Purusha, as we know earlier already, as per Pananiya Siksha, 41 chapter, 42 verse, it narrates the importance of the Vedangas, which describes Veda Purusha as having 6 limbs, as 6 Vedangas. Chandas are his 2 feet, Kalpa are his 2 arms, Jyotisha are his eyes. So, Jyotishyamanaha Chakshuhu. This is where I am. So that much importance is given to astrology. So, in Jyotisha, again we have 6 branches. So, I am coming now. Jyotisha, I have gone further down. So, in Jyotisha, we have got 6 branches. The main important branches are 3. They are called Skanda Traya, Siddhanta, Samhita, and Hora. And then other 3 branches are Ganita, Sekuna, and Prasna. Right, sir? So, in Samhita, we have this Samudrika Shastra, it is called, or Anga Vidya. Samudrika Shastra might have come by the name of Samudra. I'm not clear. There are some difference of opinion on this. And there is also a Rishi called Samudra. So he brought this Samudra Shastra into light. And under Samudrika Shastram, there is Mukha Vidya, Pada Vidya, and Hastareka. So Mukha Vidya, it talks about the face reading, aura. Pada Vidya is about our all the sekinas, moles, and all those things. And then Hastareka is about exclusively dealing with the hands, fingers, thumbs, mounts, and all those things. So coming to Jyotish, we know everybody, Jyotish is a knowledge of life. In astrology, in Greek, astrology, in English it is Greek. The Greek word is aster, from aster it has come. Aster is a star logo, and logic depends on logic. It is reasoning. So Siddhanta, I said 3 branches, Kandatraya. So Siddhanta deals with planetary motion. It relates to astronomy. And there are Siddhanta, Surya, Romaka, and all those things. Then Hora, it talks about natal horoscope, that is individual. The horoscope is built on the place of birth, date of birth, and time of birth, so that the present and future events can be predicted. And this is in relation to the heavenly or humanly bodies or planets. Then we have the Samhita, mundane astrology, or political astrology, or the worldwide affairs. It deals with weather, storms, earthquakes, and all. So Sekuna Shastra, all those things, these are the other 3 branches which we have already discussed. So astrology is that part of celestial science, dealing with signs, rasis, planetary, and stellar influences, effect on the health, constitution of the body, its functions and habits of life. So why this happens? Configuration of planets in sky in certain angular positions emanate certain forces and magnetic gravitational forces. We know this Earth, Bhumi Akarshana Shakti we call. So likewise, we get North Pole, South Pole forces. So all these forces are there. Besides, we have solar, cosmic forces are there, and they emit the spiritual and physical energies we know as Sanatana Dharma students. And these energies, when not in harmony, brings physical and mental disturbances on individual. So taking account of these cosmic changes, taking account the planetary motions, the sketch of astrology is built. So the planetary motion at the birth time of an individual indicates his prarabdha karma, or the sanchita karma, or the agami karma. Basing on that, the 12 rasis, 9 grahas, including Rahu and Ketu, though they are shadow planets, they are given great importance in our Vedanga. And and then the stars, 27 stars are there. I'm not going to elaborate into that. Just basically, I'm touching the astrology to give a overview of the subject which I'm going to discuss, that is the palmistry. So, what planets affect an individual? There is a sloka that Surya Sauryam Ataha Indu Ucha Padavim Sumangalam Mangalaha Subuddhim cha Buddha Guru cha Gurutam Sukraha Sukham Shamaha Senihi Rahu Bahubalam Karotu Satatam Ketu Kulasya Unnatim. So this is the sloka. This is written by Parashara. This is in our Manusmriti. And the attributes. So what does it indicate? Sun gives us the gallantry, fame, pride, prestige, all those things. Moon gives us the high post. And moon gives us the mind, manaha, mind, and manaha he gives. And then Mars gives us the well-being, power, shakti he gives. Mars, we call it as the third sign. Second sign. It indicates health, wealth, and all those things. And then Mercury gives us the buddhi, intellect. And then Jupiter gives us the power to help others, the knowledge. Knowledge comes through, power comes through knowledge only. And he gives the Purva Karma, Purva Punya Sukrutam, whatever we call. And Guru is always Guru for all of us. And he showers always his grace on us. Then Venus gives us the luxuries and comforts. Then Saturn, capacity to handle. Saturn is not a bad planet. Saturn gives us capacity to handle the tough situation. Saturn, if he is slow, that is why we say Saturn Stiravasare. For Saturday we call, for today we call it as Stiravasare, not even Mandavasare. Manda means slow. Stira means static. If Shani is like that, we are great. We are happy. He showers his blessings on us. So Shani gives us the to handle the tough situation, perseverance. First, he teaches us how to work hard and come out of the sluggishness, and then how we can betterment. So it's a slow process. That is why Shani, being slow, and he gives the results also in a slow manner. And then Rahu gives Rahu is Asa and Durasha, everybody knows. So Rahu gives us the Maya. He creates the Maya, illusion, myth. So Rahu is that character. And Ketu gives a Ketu. When Rahu is Asa, Ketu is Nirasa. Simply in simple words, for a layman like me who can understand. So Ketu is Nirasa. That means not Nirasa, totally depression. No. If Saturn and Ketu both comes or in one house, maybe it may result in Nirasa totally. So that's a different story. I'm not going into it. But Ketu as a planet alone, he gives you the moksha. He gives you spiritual inclination. He gives you the occult sciences. So occult, I have used the occult now. I will come to occult later in palmistry or in astrology. So, and Ketu, besides all these things, Ketu is our lineage. He improves our lineage, the hereditary, the hierarchy, the family tree, he develops. So these are the attributes of the planets. And then, what is Hastareka? What is palmistry? So why all these things we are telling? So palmistry, the practice of fortune telling. This is I have taken from Wikipedia. Anybody can search Google. They will find. I only simply copied it. But I will relate this subsequently to the palmistry texts written by renowned authors, palmists and all, worldwide, not only Indians. So, and then palmistry is the practice of fortune telling, though through the study of the palm, also known as palm reading, chiromancy or chirology or chironomy. The practice is found all over the world with numerous cultural variations. Please underline this. The palmistry practice of palmistry is found all over the world with numerous cultural variations. Of course, depending upon Desha, Kalamana, Patra, Yantra, Tantra, all those things. But that is why I am telling this. Palmistry has been practiced since ages in the cultures of Sumeria, Babylonia, Arabia, Persia, of course, India, Nepal, Tibet, and China. So palmistry is fortune telling. We have seen. So what is fortune telling? It is the practice of predicting information about person's life. The scope of fortune telling us is in principle identical with the practice of divination. So here there is an iota or an instance of divination is involved. Divination is nothing but your occult science. So it is your sixth sense. It is your intuition. So the palmistry has some part of your intuitive knowledge also. Intuitive knowledge who gives? Again, Ketu and Jupiter gives. So right, this connecting to astrology, correct? So the difference is the divination is term used, predictions considered are part of religious. So divination, basically divination is used so religious. So that is why people think it is a religious minded concept. No. So palmistry is that faculty of foreseeing divination using the appearance of hand, palm, thumb, nails, fingers, lines, marks, and raised mounts. It is not only the lines. That's what my humble submission is. We will not look only into lines. We will look into what? Appearance of hand. What is the size of the hand? What is the color of the hand? Whether it is square, whether it is rectangular, whether it is conic. And what is the thumb? Angushtabhya namaha. So thumb is very important for us. So for anything we say thumbs up. If somebody we are telling, yes, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. If even mostly in foreign culture, they go by expressions only. So the thumb expression has a very high value in westernized culture. So thumb, nails, even the nails we look, these are the nails, nails we look, what is the size of the nail, whether it is again, what shape it has, and how plumpy it is, how flabby it is, all those things. By that also, we will interpret one's characteristics or behavior or the identifications, all those things. So, and also raised points on your hand. So this is the hand and the raised points, you find the raised points here, 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the mounts. This is the raised point. This is a mount. This is a raised point. This is a mount. So this describes an individual's personality, past, present, areas where they could improve, as well as future and potential events. So divination, we have said. What is divination? Divination is to foresee, to foretell, to predict. It is an attempt to gain insight into a question or a situation. Okay. So again, question, Prashna Shastra is coming here. Some question you ask me. So if I want to answer, so the divination or occultic standardized process will be followed either in astrology or in palmistry. Okay. But divination, we have already. So divination is determining the hidden significance of cause of events. Then what is occult science? So I am telling occult. Occult means it is a category of supernatural beliefs and practices, of course, beyond the law of nature, which generally fall outside the scope of religion. So here I am cutting across the religion. It is not only in Hindu religion. In every religion, these occult science do operate. Occult sciences do operate. In Muslim, the Satan uses his intuition power and gives you some taweez. Your disease has gone. How? So these are the occult sciences. In every religion it is there, not only in our Hindu culture or in our Sanatan Dharma or in Vedas or Vedangas. So the term occult science is not a new one. It was used in the 16th century in Europe to refer to astrology, natural magic, and all those things. So now palmistry is a pseudoscience or science. Now we have gone through this. So palmistry, what is pseudoscience? Definition of pseudoscience. Again, this I have taken from the Google search. Pseudoscience is stated to be collection of beliefs, practices, mistakenly regarded as basing on scientific method. So here we are taking the palmistry on a scientific method, thinking that it is a scientific method. No. I say we also apply scientific, maybe logical reasoning, rationality we apply. Logic, reasoning, rationality are the part of scientific approach also. I know everybody, we are all learned people, we know how the science is built. A science is a systematic endeavor that builds and organizes knowledge in the form of textable explanations and predictions, right? So how we do that? This scientific method is what? It is disambiguation, is an empirical method for acquiring knowledge by means of observation, first observation, then observation of hypothesis, that after forming the hypothesis, then test the hypothesis with some experiment or some method, and then arrive at an alternative. Basing on the alternative, you take best alternative and comes at a conclusion. This is scientific method. In astrology also we follow that. So as part of Vedanga, in astrology also we follow the scientific method. Like Lagna calculations, Navamsa calculations, Ayanamsa calculation, Panchanga calculation, all those are scientific, mathematically based, astronomically related. So how can we say that is a pseudo? Just this is my submission. So then we all agree that astrology and astronomy is a science, okay? So astrology is also science. Why? Astronomy relates with planetary motion, with the sky, with Milky Way, all those things. And astrology also relates to the same factors. But we are superimposing those planets, those planetary motions into our human life. So all astrological calculations are based on astronomical calculations. Hence, astrology is also a science. If astronomy is a science, astrology or Jyotish is also a science. So as I told you, birth chart is prepared basing on the place of birth and all, and it is a calculation based. So now if astrology is a rational one, based on reasoning, logic, and all these factors, then palmistry also. I think I would try to bring on platform whatever I have in my mind. So what is the origin of palmistry? How palmistry has come? Palmistry is one of the Vidyas practiced in India since ancient or Vedic times. Saptarishis like Garga, Gautam, Bharadwaj, Agastya, Bhrigu, Atri, Kasyapa, these sages, saints, munis, seers, they have practiced astrology, preached astrology. According to Puranas, first Devarishi Narada practiced this art. Brahma Manasaputra practiced this. From then it flown down. Hastareka is part of, as I said, it is part of Jyotisha and a branch of Samhita. Jyotisha is one of the Vedants. So astrology, as I told earlier, it is an integral part of Samudrika Shastra, dealing with face reading, aura reading, and whole body analysis through Angavidya that we have already told. So Hastareka Vigyan was found as early as from Ramayana period. Maharshi Valmiki in Yuddhakanda wrote about 576 stanzas. It is called Ravana Samhita. So 567 stanzas he wrote. on the palmistry, and laterly this is translated afterwards. These stanzas, this Yuddhakanda pertaining to these 567 stanzas were translated into English as the teachings of Valmiki Maharshi on male palmistry. A book was written. A book was not written, it is compiled naturally. So, as per the next one, as per Patanjali, afterwards, as per Patanjali Yoga Sutra, Patanjali, we know when Patanjali was there, the marks of the poem have specific meanings. It is mentioned in the Patanjali Yoga Sutras. I think Dr. Prabhu sir will agree with me. Varahamihir, then 505 CE or 587 CE, is a famous astronomer and astrologer, propagated palmistry in Brihat Samhita. Brihat Samhita contains what? Architecture, temples, planetary motions, eclipses, timekeeping, astrology, seasons, cloud formation, rainfall. All these subjects were discussed by Varahamihira in Brihat Samhita. In that astrology, palmistry took place. So he propagated palmistry in Brihat Samhita. Then how this has come, I mean, of late, 17th century, the palmistry in India was practiced, and a book was written. That was the first book, I'm told, Asta Sanjeevan by Mahapadhyaya Megha Vijaya Gnani. He wrote this book in 17th century. It was the first book which came into light in English on palmistry. Then 20th century, renowned astrologers like M.M. Gaffa, he wrote The Science of Handreading. Then Cyrus D.F. Abhayakun Silan, he wrote in 1912 this book, Astro Palmistry, Science and Seals on the Hand. Then Mir Bashir, Your Past, Your Present and Your Future to the Art of Hand Analysis. Then recently in the 19th century, R.G. Rao, Your Destiny and Thumb. And another Mihira Acharya, Astro Palmistry, R.R. Chatterjee, Samudraka Shiksha. So these were the books written in India by the Indian authors. And then, okay, coming to this, how I'm going to West, how palmistry is propagated to West. Around 3000 BC, the art of hand reading from India spread to China. First, it went to China because Yuan Song and all, they came, they might have stolen our property and then they have taken to China. That might have been happened in respect of other Vedas. What has happened, same thing has happened about this astrology and palmistry also. This Vedanga also, it happened like that. So from China, it went to Tibet, of course. From Tibet to Egypt, Persia, Greece, and then Europe. So this is how the palmistry, the subject or art of palmistry penetrated. And palmistry is indirectly referred in the book of Job. Like Testament, Second Testament or First Testament, there is a book of Job. I think you can browse the Google search, you will find out what book of Job contains. It tells about Satan and all those things, how a wishless, those who he doesn't want any wish. So how that fellow was harassed by the Satan and how God protected him. Similar stories we have in our also, in our Vedas also, Puranas, Itihasas also. So that book of Job, anybody, those who are interested, they can read. Even at least Google search you do and find out. Sir, I am going through. All right, sir?
Going on. Okay.
Okay, thank you. So palmistry is practice common to many places in Europe and Asia. It has been practiced in the cultures of Sumeria, Babylonia. Already I have told that. Arabia, Persia, India, Nepal, Tibet, and China. In Greece, Anaxagoras is a Greek philosopher. He practiced it first. Then he told Aristotle. So Aristotle in 384-322 BCE wrote a book on palmistry, maybe in Greece only, in their language only. So, and he presented that book to Alexander the Great, the so-called Alexander the Great. And it was told that Alexander used to, by reading this book or by taking the examples or by taking the interpretations from this book, he used to examine the character of his soldiers. officers by analyzing the lines on their hand, whether he is faithful, whether he is loyal, for which job he is suitable, whether he is suitable for manufacturing of arms or ammunition, or whether he is suitable for horse riding, or whether he is suitable for going for spying to the other countries, or whether he is suitable to become a captain, whatever it is. So Alexander used this skill of palmistry just by when interviewing the candidates, he used to see his palm and then find out for which job this fellow is suitable. So then 14th and 15th centuries in West, there are some works on handwriting written by European authors. Then after that in 1800, Adrien Adolphe, he is a French person, and then Adolf Henge, he is a German. They done works on graphology. What is graphology? Again, another word. Graphology is study of handwriting. So how a handwriting is written? My handwriting will definitely, two handwritings also doesn't match. Why? There is some specific pattern in that. That pattern is cultivated by your characters or the habits or your hereditary, whatever it is called, or your Sanchita Prarabdha Karma, whatever it is. So then Hansberg, then Saint Germain, Louis Cotton, Ivy Dele, she's an Irish woman, you know. In 1986, she wrote a book on Indian palmistry. So she did research on Indian palmistry, Ivy Dele. And then this being the case, what is the status of modern palmistry now? Modern palmistry movement was led by Irish William John Warner. It is his first name, that means name Christian by his parents, also known as Count Louis Hammond. And but he is by his nickname. In Google search it is written sobriquet. Nickname, he is called Cairo, Cheiro, Cairo. This Cairo has a prominent importance for us. So this Cairo word is derived from Cairomancy or Caironomy. That means palmistry. So he was from 1866 to 1936, he was there, an exponent of palmistry in the 19th and late 19th and early 20th centuries. After studying under gurus in India, he had practiced palmistry in London, and he had famous clients around the world like Mark Twain, Thomas Alva Edison, who find out the bulb, Prince of Wales, all these people. So he has written very great works, Language of Hand, Cairo's Guide to Hand, and these are the books which we follow now in our palmistry syllabus. Okay, and then afterwards, in 1859 and 1944, there is another Britisher. He's a British newspaper editor, William G. Benham. So he did extensive research on palmistry, and he wrote a famous book called The Laws of Scientific Handreading, and another book, the book of Benham, Book of Palmistry. So why I am mentioning these foreigners wrote on Indian palmistry, and I tell you why Indian palmistry, even gunas and all, classification of hand, there is a separate Benham classification of hand, which is based on planets, right? So Benham states that information in the handwriting is logical. Again, why I am taking the Benham is, he first said that palmistry states that information in the handwriting is logical. He is the first person to state in his book that the handwriting is logical and does not distinctly belong to occult sciences. So he made a clear statement, Benham, who is a British newspaper editor, who made extensive research on palmistry. So he established that it does not distinctly belong to occult sciences like black magic or whatever it is, but it is rational, using reason or logic in thinking about a problem, and made available to the service of mankind to gain better knowledge. This I am quoting. These are the words which he has written, I am quoting. So we have our ICOS, Indian Council of Astrological Sciences prescribed textbook author is there. His name is Vikramaditya. He wrote a book on Palmistry, Sutra and Siddhanta. He states that those who do not want to make use of this palmistry, this information, in the name of pseudo-scientism, are nothing but a blinkered lot. I think I need not explain this much further. I'll just read once. Those who do not want to make use of this information, that is information based on palmistry, in the name of pseudo-scientism, are nothing but a blinkered lot. So, my conclusion is that palmistry is based on astrology, basing on rationality, it has logic, and therefore it cannot be made on the same platform of a pseudoscience or an occult science. Yes, some things we would have taken in every science. We borrow from the root only, na? Without root, there is no tree. So that is why this is about palmistry. And what qualifies palmist? Again, Parashara, sage Parashara has stated, Ganiteshu Pravino, Ya Shabdashastre Krutaha, Sramaha, Nyayavid, Buddhiman, Deshadhikalayogyo Jitendriyaha, Uhapoha Horaskanda Sravana Sammataha, Maitreya Satyantu Yatihi, Tasya Vakyamna Samasyaha. So this is what sage Parashara told. If I try to understand in English, a palmist or an astrologist should be a skilled mathematician. He should articulate and diplomatic in usage of words, aware of time, customs, values, Desha Kala Mana Patra Yantra Mantra Tantra, Purana, all these things. He should be balanced and impartial. He should assess the conflicting views, solutions, examine multiple angles. That is why in palmistry also, we won't simply believe on lines. We believe on fingers. We believe on fingers, phalanges. We believe on these mounts. We believe on total hand. And then we believe on signs on the hand, star, island, fish mark, palanquin mark. These we can make out. If you have a magnifying glass, you can definitely make out what moles are there, what stars are there, what dots are there, what squares are there. You can definitely find out. And each sign has its own significance. So we will go through the palm, we will go through the fingers, we will go to the mounts, we will go through the signs, we will go through the lines. Then only we will arrive at a conclusion. That is the rational reading of the palmistry. Plus, we also corroborate with the planetary characteristics, because I am going to come to the next slide, that we are going to depend on the planets on these 5 hands, right? So, Benham, as I said, Benham classified hand. Hand is what? Chironomy. So, Benham classified hand basing on mounts. So, if we take this hand, please see this hand, these are the mounts. 1, 2, 3, 4. That means below each finger, right? Right, sir? So, mounts. Basing on the mounts, prominent of the mount, they are called that hand. And fingers, you know, what are these fingers? 5 fingers. In 5 fingers, this finger is a thumb, okay? And this is Jupiter finger we call. And this is Saturn finger we call. And this is Mercury finger we call. Sorry, Sun finger, Apollo finger we call. And this is Mercury finger. So this is Saturn. Sorry, this is Jupiter, Saturn, then Mercury, Apollo, Mercury. Apollo is Sun finger. So these are the, so underneath them, the ubbettu portions evaithe unnayo, I think I am getting some messages, so that's why those indications are coming on the this thing. Okay, so if we see the hand, see these are the 4. I mean 1, 2, 3, 4. So these 4 are the mounts. So this is Jupiter hand, this Jupiter finger. Underneath it, that is a Jupiter mount. This is Saturn finger. Underneath is the Saturn mount. So whichever mount is prominent, those qualities are attributed. This classification is not done by me, not by a Hindu. This is done by Benham. So this classification is based on Benham's classification, basing on mounts. So these are the mounts. Jupiter mount, Saturn mount, Sun mount, Mercury mount, and then this is the Mars mount, upper Mars, lower Mars. This is the Moon mount. Okay, I think you are seeing, all are seeing my hand. And this is the Moon mount. So, if which mount is prominent, ఏ మౌంట్ ఉబ్బెత్తుగా ఉంటే ప్రామినెంట్ గా ఉందో థిక్ గా ఉందో ఆ క్వాలిటీస్ నార్మల్ గా మనం ఆ మనిషికి అట్రిబ్యూట్ చేస్తాము. రైట్ సార్? ఓకే. దెన్ another classification basing on astrology. This is done by one lady, Linda Goodman. So she made this classification basing, we know our Panchabhutas. In astrology, we have earthy signs, airy signs, fiery signs, watery signs. So basing on that also, similarly, palmistry also, a earthy hand is called earthy hand. And Prithvi type. So what are the signs related to that? Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, right? And then earthy hand will have square form, short and thin fingers. So if it is a earthy hand, he will have one of these qualities. What are those qualities? Either he is extrovert, or he is loves outdoor activity, or he is cautious, or he is hardworking, or he is down to earth. So these are the qualities of an earthy person. Airy sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Okay, all astrologers will agree with me, I think. So if airy sign, then it's a square form, long and supple fingers. Earlier it is short and thin fingers for earthy. Here, square form, long and supple fingers. So how those people will be? They are inspiring people, influencing people, and communicative people. That is airy sign. Then fiery is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Correct? So if it is a fiery sign, then it's a long palm, short fingers. If that is the case, they are very dynamic, dominating, because all sun qualities, sun and sun and Mars qualities. So sun dominating, dynamic, enthusiastic, driven by thrill, challenge and excitement. At least you will find one of these qualities if he is a fiery person. Because we taking all these things into consideration, we will come to a conclusion. Not only one parameter or one indicator. Then likewise watery. Watery signs is Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Cancer represents moon. So watery sign means it is how long palm and long finger. They are artistic. Moon, artistic, sensitive, intuitive, creational, emotional, spiritual. So these are the qualities for the watery sign people. And if the hand is long palm, long fingers, we will say, we'll classify him as a watery person. Jalatatva rasi unna valla lakshanalu villaki untayi ani oka base understanding kostam annamata, right? దాని తర్వాత ఇప్పుడు పామ్ తీసుకున్నాం. పామ్ మొత్తం తీసుకున్నప్పుడు చూడండి, పామ్ మొత్తం తీసుకున్నాం కదా. పామ్ మొత్తం తీసుకున్నప్పుడు మనం పొద్దున్నే నిద్ర లేవంగానే, ఐఎమ్ గోయింగ్ టు తెలుగు అగైన్, when we get up in the early morning, what we do, what we pray in the bed, we take the hand to our head and we will say, Karagre vasate Lakshmi, Karamadhye Saraswati, Karamule Stite Gauri, Prabhate Kardarsanam. Is it not? All will agree with me? So we have now here three Ammas, Lakshmi, Gauri and Saraswati. What they represent? Prabhu sir told us the other class, Ichha Shakti, Gnana Shakti, Kriya Shakti, nothing but. So a palm signifies what? Upper part of the palm signifies Sattva Guna. Center of the hand signifies Rajo Guna. Bottom of the hand signifies Tamo Guna. So basing on this, if upper part is more prominent in a person's hand, we will say he has Sattva Gunam, Jupiterian qualities. Sattva is Jupiter, no? Jupiter is Sattva, Ketu. So he has those qualities. If center of hand is, if this hand, center is more prominent, looking more bubbled or bulged, you will find that fellow has Rajo Guna. And then bottom, if it is more prominent, they have Tamo Guna. So this is how all these characteristics, this is another analysis of hand. So by 3 analytical factors we go. Just like that, we won't come to a conclusion. So it is not a hoax. It is not just simple lines. That is what again and again I am repeating, so that I will be reinforcing and trying to impart my way of understanding into the subject. So we know what Sattva, Raja, Tamo gunas are. I am not going to explain. Sattvam, Sattva, Raja, Tama iti gunaha, Prakriti Sambhavaha, Nibaddhanti Mahabaho, Dehe, Dehina, Mamamyaham. Who told this? Paramatma to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita chapter 14 verse 5. Oh mighty Arjuna, material energy consists of 3 gunas, Sattva, Raja, Tama. Sattva is goodness, Raja is passion, Tamas is ignorance. So these binds the eternal soul to the perishable body. So that is what we are trying to understand from these hands too. Okay, so now I am so now we know there are 84 lakh pranis created by Paramatma. Of this, Manava Janma is Utkrishta Janma. After that, we may get Manava Janma or we may not. After struggling hard, we got Manava Janma. So what we achieve through this, if you balance these 3 gunas, Sattva, Raja, Tamo gunas, if we balance them, who will balance? Buddhi. Buddhi is controlled by what? Your manaha. So Buddhi is discriminating intelligence. So he binds the Raja, Sattva, Tama gunalu. But Buddhi is, you have to overcome Buddhi and you have to listen to your mana. Choices based on our Buddhi helps us to progress. Okay, I understand. But choices based on mana, they impede the growth. So then we have the classification of, I have simply, I think I have told in simple terms about the hand, classification of hand and all. Now there are some lines on the hand. Lines are, study of lines is a separate subject. In palmistry, it is called chiromancy. Chiromancy, same, by the name of Cairo it has come, chiromancy. And chiromancy, we have 5 major lines: lifeline, headline, heartline, fate line, and sun line. So similarly, we have lifeline. I mean, I'm not going into much detail. So lifeline comes from Mount of Jupiter to the down. It is called Lagna. And then headline from Mount of Jupiter goes to the Mercury Mount. And then heartline, it is a moon line, it is called. That is, if lifeline is Lagna, heartline is moon. So life and heart are your lifelines. Then we have fate line. Fate lines runs from down below. From here it goes up. So our line of Saturn, it is called, what is written? This is your Saturn line. From Rishta to Saturn it will go. It tells you about your prarabdha karma, luck, fate, destiny, bhagya, karma, material success, and all those things. Fate line tells. And then Apollo, sun line, Apollo line, it goes from Rishta to Sun Mount. It gives you the fame, brilliance, leadership qualities, and all those things. So these lines we will analytically discuss how a line has to be, whether there are break-in lines, whether no break-in lines, whether there are parallel lines to this, how to interpret. Again, it's a, I mean, in our Indian Council of Astrological Sciences, it is a 6 months course. So it is a thorough, well-drilled syllabi and well-drilled course. It is conducted in a systematic and systematized manner with all inputs, basic inputs of the palmistry, Hastareka or Hastagnana. And then the secondary lines are Mercury line, intuition line, marriage line, Mars line, ring of Solomon, ring of Saturn, griddle of Venus, travel lines, children lines, and Manikattu, Vesacates. Even the lines on this Manikattu also, they have some significance. So this is all about lines. So lines reading also is also not that much easy. Of course, those who are learned people, it is very simple to understand. So this is how I have tried to put forth my opinion. So then, in conclusion, if astronomy and astrology, we know astrology is branch of Vedanga, it's a Jyotisha. If they are real lines, I think you will agree with me by all this 1.5 hour lecture, you will understand with me that palmistry is also, which is the one of the branches of astrology, cannot be a pseudoscience. And it is the results of reading or readings of palmistry will be rewarding and true it's to nature when taken or applied in a rational manner. That is very important. See, you should not go to touts. You should not believe in hawkers. You should not believe in street parrot charmers. రోడ్డు మీద వాడు చిలక రహస్యం చెప్పేవాడు ఉంటాడు. You can't equate that. Of course, that is called tarot study. That is also is based on some this thing. That's a different issue. I'm not trying to cut it down totally, but palmistry is a rational subject, and you have to apply in a rational manner, putting aside the blind beliefs and notions, of course. Then you will definitely get 60 to 70% results accurate. Then if palm reading is accurate, yes, sometimes and often if done correctly, but not necessarily even. This we also tell. If I say something, if it doesn't happen, then it may not happen. So we can't take a recourse to an excuse. Why it has not happened, how it has not happened, no. So almost all, if it is rationally applied with taking all these basic parameters which I have tried to bring forth to you, to put forth to you, if we will apply, we will definitely get equal results as that of astrology. That is my point. Fate is not determined, no? Fate is indicated. If you are determined, that means you have a strong will. You can change your fate to certain extent. At least you can go in a loop line. The accident of 3 trains can be avoided. So keep in mind that palm lines and lives both can change with time. Yes, this I forgot to mention that the lines are not static in a hand. They keep on changing. New lines come and goes. So, sir, ledanడి బయట. So sorry, there is a disturbance. So keep in mind that palm lines and lives both can change with time. So if a new line comes or old line fades away, then we will interpret something else. For example, in my case, I went bypass some 10 months back. I had a mole on Saturn finger. See, this is a Saturn finger. So I had a suspicion. A mole on Saturn finger is not good. It indicates some operation. So that resulted in bypass operation. That's a different story. So, but I have not taken care of it. That mole, I have brushed it out. I thought mole comes and goes, what happens? Even if I have taken care, Shani is there in my 2.5 years. So Shani will not leave me, na? Saturn is there. So I had to pass through this turmoil, this test and trial. So that is how, I mean, we need to try to understand the subject Vedanta or Vedanga. And palm reading helps us see potential advantages and avoid disadvantages if we know early. And then if we are patient enough, if we are keeping on learning and working hard, being patient, being responsible, better luck will always come to us eventually. So that is my final saying. So, and Om Asatoma Sadgamaya, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma Amritangamaya, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. O Lord, keep me away from unreality to reality. Keep me out of darkness and bring me to light. Keep me out of immortality and bring me to keep me from mortality and bring me to immortality. Oh, peace, peace, peace. Thank you. Thank you very much. So patiently listening to me. There is some technical hitch. So that is why I tried to I explained my viewpoint on the mobile. I have a good PPT. I'll send in our group. So Babu Garu, I request you to kindly circulate to all our members. So all these points which I have discussed, I have framed in the PPT. So any questions, I am open. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sure, Andy. Dhanyavadamulu. In fact, is a blessing in disguise that your speech on the cell phone is much better than that laptop.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you.
And also your picture, your display picture now, what we see you is also quite wide.
Great,
and
sir.
very clear. So
Great.
we can say that it is a blessing in disguise. But
Thank you.
you please give the PPT, we will definitely go through that and then understand better. There is one question, it says, does it differ from gender to gender? Women which had like male and female.
Yeah, I have not discussed that point. Normally, for male hand, we will see the right hand for male. For female, we see the left. So the lines for everybody differs. They cannot be uniform lines. Even left hand, what lines are there in left hand differ from right hand. Why we say left hand is what you get at the time of birth. Left hand lines are at the time of birth. Right hand lines are what we eke out through your living, through your behavior, through your hard working, and through your free will. So that is why right hand lines more precisely keep on changing than the left hand. Okay, sir?
Okay. So what about the gender-based variation in palms?
I'm not able to understand that question. What do you mean by gender-based?
Like, for ladies, women, you see left hand.
Correct.
And for gents, right hand.
Yeah.
Why so?
Achha, why so? Why gender-based? Why gender-based? Because the left hands are inactive hands, correct?
Yeah.
Left hand is inactive. Why we work, we do with right hand only. So male being the food, I mean from the olden days, good olden days, male being the poshaka of the family, and he works hard with his right hand. So right hand is seen. Again, I am coming next step. So for ladies, because they are, number one, they are weak personality, or number two, they do not contribute the economic activity of a person. We see the left hand. But now what we are advocating is for working woman, we should see right hand. Okay. And one more thing, even for, see, lot of left-handers will be there. Sachin Tendulkar, he plays with left hand, bats with left hand. Vishan Singh Bedi bowls with the left hand. So for them also we should see the left hand. So it is not gender discrimination. Basically, in a normal parlance, right hand for male, left hand is female. That is what told. But there are certain, a good palmist should know this. If he doesn't know, I can't say.
Okay. Thank you. And Venkat wants to ask you a question.
Okay, sir.
Venkatji.
Self, sir. Sir. Good evening, sir. It's very good to have a lecture on palmistry, sir. I will be familiar and more convenient if I ask in Telugu for the audience also.
No problem, sir. Adagandi.
Yeah, sir. మనకి రామాయణంలో కనుక చూసినట్టయితే పరమాచార్య చరిత్రలో కూడా ఉందండి. వారి పాదుకల మీద గదా శంకరం చక్రం ఉన్నట్టు రామాయణంలో విదితమైంది, పరమాచార్య జీవితంలో కూడా విదితమైంది. అలాంటప్పుడు వాళ్ళకి ఆ అట్రిబ్యూషన్స్ వచ్చిన కష్టాలు వచ్చాయి. జస్ట్ కష్టాలు ఇగ్నోర్ చేసి ఫేమ్ వచ్చింది అనుకోవాలా? ఫేమ్ వస్తుంది కాబట్టి కష్టాలు వచ్చాయా?
అదేనండి. ఇప్పుడు శని మనకి శని ఉన్నాడు అనుకోండి, మనకి శని కష్టాలు తెస్తాడండి, బట్ తర్వాత ఫేమ్ తెస్తాడు. ఇన్ఫాక్ట్ నాకు లగ్నంలో శని ఉన్నారండి. నాకు లగ్నంలో శని ఉన్నారు. నాది వృషభ లగ్నం, నాకు శని ఉన్నారు.
జనరల్ గా పామిస్టులు కాళ్ళు చూడరండి, మీరు చేతులే చూస్తారు కదా?
అవును, చేతులే చూస్తాం. అవును, అంటే కాళ్ళు కాదు. జనరల్ గా ఏంటంటే ఇప్పుడు అది అంగ విద్యలో ఒక భాగం, అంగ విద్యలో ఒక భాగము. పాద ఇవన్నీ అన్ని చూడాలి, కానీ అన్నిట్లు ఇప్పుడు మన డాక్టర్ ఉన్నారు, కార్డియోథెరాసిక్ సర్జన్ వేరు, కార్డియాలజిస్ట్ వేరు. ఎందుకండి? సో సిమిలర్ గా ఇవి ఒక్కొక్క బ్రాంచ్ ఒక్కొక్కళ్ళు స్పెషలైజేషన్ అంతే, అంతేగాని చూడరు అని కాదు. వాడికి దాంట్లో ప్రవేశం ఉంటే అది కూడా చూడవచ్చును. అది నా రిక్వెస్ట్.
Okay, Andy, thank you. Very well explained. All on the lot of messages in the chat box that they are very appreciative of this lecture. What is the significance of Mars?
Significance of
Mars.
మార్స్ ఏంటంటే మన ప్లానటరీ క్యాబినెట్ లో మార్స్ సైన్యాధికారి. మార్స్ ఈజ్ ద చీఫ్ ఆఫ్ ద ఆర్మీ in our planetary kingdom. Sun is the king, moon is the queen, Mars is the senadhipati. Okay, and Budhudu, Mercury, he is the prince. And then Guru, sare Bruhaspati Deva Guru, everybody knows. Shukra, Rakshasa Guru, right? And then Shani is the servant. అందుకే సోలిట్యూడ్ అంటారు శనికి, సాలిటరీ శని. అందుకే శనికి ఏంటంటే ఎప్పుడు ఇన్సబార్డినేషన్ ఫీల్ అవుతుంటాడు శని. ఇన్సబార్డినేషన్, అతను మైండ్ అప్లై చేయరు, ఆయన ఏ ఆర్డర్స్ వస్తే అవే తీసుకుంటారు. రాహుకేతు ఉన్నారా, వాళ్ళు సోల్జర్స్. సో మార్స్ ఏంటి? సేనాధిపతి. సేనాధిపతి అంటే ఏముండాలండి? శౌర్యం, పరాక్రమం, కోపం. ఆల్మోస్ట్ సూర్యుడికి ఉన్న లక్షణాలన్నీ శనికి ఉంటాయి అగ్రవేటెడ్ పోర్షన్ లో. అది నేను చెప్పదలుచు.
Okay, thank you very much. Any other questions anybody wants to ask? If no other questions, we will try to close. Okay, what says palm history about no hands? What does this Srinivas live? What is this?
చేతులు లేని వాళ్ళకి పామిస్ట్రీ ఏంటి అని కాబోలండి.
భలే ప్రశ్న వేశారండి, ఇది నేను కూడా ఆలోచించాలి.
చేతులు గాని వేళ్ళు గాని తెగిపోయిన వాళ్ళకి
అదే ఇది నేను కూడా ఆలోచించాల్సిందే. ఎందుకంటే ఇప్పుడు ఈ యాంగిల్లో మేము చూడలేదు. అంటే నార్మల్ గా ఏంటంటే డిఫార్మిటీ ఉంటాయి కానీ నార్మల్ గా అస్సలు లేకుండా ఉండవు. సబ్సిక్వెంట్ గా లేకపోతే మనము మరి అప్పుడు అంటే ఉన్నంత వరకు ఈ ఫ్యాక్టర్స్ తీసుకొని మిగతావి అస్ట్రాలజీ నుంచి మనం
రూడిమెంటరీ హ్యాండ్స్ అంటారు. రూడిమెంటరీ హ్యాండ్స్
బేసికల్ గా రూడిమెంటరీ అసలు లేకపోతే ఓన్లీ అస్ట్రాలజీ, అప్పుడు ఏం చేయలేము. ఇంకా అసలు లేకుండా ఉండటం జరగదు కదా. బిడ్డ పుట్టినప్పుడు ఒక్కళ్ళకి, ఇది నేను ఇంకొక విషయం చెప్పడం మర్చిపోయాను, ఇప్పుడు కొందరికి 6 వేళ్ళు ఉంటాయి, 6 ఫింగర్స్. 6 ఫింగర్స్ ఉన్నప్పుడు ఏంటి, ఇప్పుడు నార్మల్ గా ఒకళ్ళకి ఎక్కువ మందికి 60% ఈ థంపుకి కింద చిన్న ఫింగర్ వస్తుంది. అలాగే ఈ లిటిల్ ఫింగర్ కూడా ఫింగర్ రావడానికి ఆస్కారం ఉంటుంది. 6 వేళ్ళు ఉంటాయి వాళ్ళకి. అది ఎలా రీడ్ చేస్తారని మీరు అడగాలి. అది ఎలా రీడ్ చేస్తామంటే 6 వేళ్ళు మంచిది కాదు, నెంబర్ 1. నెంబర్ 2, ఎవరికైనా 6 వేళ్ళు ఉంటే వాడికి చిన్నప్పుడే మదర్ గాని ఫాదర్ గాని పోయి ఉండవాలా, లేకపోతే వాడు అడాప్షన్ వెళ్ళి ఉండవాలా. ఇవి ఆ క్యారెక్టరిస్టిక్స్ చెప్పగలరు. అది యాంప్యుటేషన్ అన్నది, మీరు యాంప్యుటేషన్ గురించి మాట్లాడితే there is no answer for me. Amputation, it is because he said he got amputated, but పుట్టిన వాళ్ళందరూ.
సార్ నమస్తే సార్, మీ చేతి మీద రేఖలు చూసి మాకు ఏ రేఖ దేని ఇండికేట్ చేస్తుందో చెప్పగలరా కొంచెం? మీ చేతి మీద రేఖలు అదే
ఇప్పుడు మరి
చూపించి
ఇది టైం సరిపోదమ్మా, అది చెప్తుంది కదా 6 months కోర్స్ అమ్మా. 6 months కోర్సు. మీరు ఐకాస్ అనే ఒక సంస్థ ఉన్నది, అది గవర్నమెంట్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా, మన ఇట్స్ ఎ సొసైటీ. బివి రామన్ గారని 1984 లో స్థాపించారు ఆ సంస్థ. అది గవర్నమెంట్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా అప్రూవ్డ్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్. ఇట్స్ ఎ సిలబస్ ఫాలో అవుతాము. మీరు ఆ కోర్సుల్లో జనవరిలో, అంటే నేను ప్రమోషన్ చేయటల్లా, మళ్ళీ ప్రమోషన్ కాదు, మీరు అడిగారు కాబట్టి నేను ఇది చెప్తున్నాను. జనవరిలోను జూలైలోను అడ్మిషన్స్ ఉంటాయి, మీరు చేరండి. ఐ కెన్ బి ఏ కాంటాక్ట్ పాయింట్. యూ విల్ గెట్ థరో నాలెడ్జ్.
ఇట్స్ డీప్ సబ్జెక్ట్.
ఐ మీన్ ఏది సబ్జెక్ట్ అమ్మా. ఇప్పుడు నేను ఇందాక ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చెప్పాను, డిఫరెన్స్ కార్డియాలజిస్ట్ కి కార్డియోథెరాలజిస్ట్ కి కార్డియోథెరాసిక్ సర్జన్ కి తేడా ఏంటి? అలాగే ఒక డెర్మటాలజిస్ట్ కి ఒక స్కిన్ స్పెషలిస్ట్ కి తేడా ఏమి? అలాగే ఒక సేమ్ సబ్జెక్ట్ స్పెషలైజేషన్. నాలెడ్జ్ అన్నది ఇట్ ఇస్ ఏ ఓషన్ అమ్మా. అది ఎంత లోతు పోతే ఇట్స్ ఏ ఫ్యాథమ్. వీ కెనాట్, మీకు తెలియదే ఉంది. నాలెడ్జ్ అన్నది అదొక సముద్రం, మనకు తెలిసింది ఓన్లీ ఒక చిన్న ఇట్స్ ఏ పెబుల్. ఓకే
సార్ నమస్కారం సార్. సార్ నేను సత్యవాణిని. ఇది పామిస్ అంటే ఒక ఆయన ఎవరో క్వశ్చన్, చేతులు లేకపోతే యాక్చువల్ గా నుదుటి లేఖల్లో కూడా చదువుతారు సార్.
అదే చెప్పాను, ఇందాక చెప్పానమ్మా.
అంటే ఆయన అదృష్టంలో చేతులు లేవు.
అదే కాదు, నేనేం చెప్తున్నానంటే అస్ట్రాలజీ తోటి కోరిలేట్ చేసుకొని, అంటే నేను బేసిక్ ఎందుకు వెళ్ళానంటే అస్ట్రాలజీ మదర్, ఇవన్నీ బ్రాంచెస్. గీతలో ఎందుకు గిచ్చుకున్నా రాదు అంటారు, మన తెలుగులో సామెత ఉంది. గీతలో గిచ్చుకున్నా రాదు అని ఒక సామెత ఉన్నది.
అవును.
సో అలాంటప్పుడు గీతలో ఏది ఉంటే అది జరుగుతుంది. మళ్ళీ ఇంకోళ్ళు అనొచ్చు, ఈ గీతలు ఏంటంటే ఇది కూడా చిన్నప్పుడు భూమిలో ఫార్మ్ అయినప్పుడు గీతలు వచ్చి ఉండొచ్చు కదండి. వాట్ సిగ్నిఫికెన్స్
సైన్స్ అంతే, క్యాల్కులేషన్ సైన్స్. దట్ వి బిలీవ్.
Yes, if you have a professional approach, if you go in a rational manner, and it is a subject. And ఇలా పుక్కిట పురాణాలుగా అనుకుంటే కాదు. Again you have to believe your own dharma, your own shastra. If you feel
సూర్యుడు ఉదించడం ఎంత నిజమో అంత సత్యమే ఇవన్నీ.
అంతేనమ్మా, అంతకంటే.
నమస్కారం. థ్యాంక్ యూ సార్, చాలా బాగా చెప్పారు సార్.
Okay, now
I just want to add one point. This the question that ladies and gents, which has been asked by somebody, how you differentiate why the left or why the right or something like that. This probably can be attributed to the Ardhanarishwar Tattva. The Ardhanarishwar Shiva and Parvati, they are the main indications of our male and female indications in our body. So based on that, the lady side is taken always a left hand side, which is the Amma Gauri side. So that's how the indications on left side are more attributed to the ladies, and the right side is more attributed to gents. That's how it can be taken as a base. It may not be totally true. We have to combine. We have to always take both the hands into consideration. As Murthy garu told, left hand, the other hand. If you take a male right hand from left hand, if you take female right hand, that will be the base of the Purva Janma, and the right hand is the present, which has made the deformations over a period of time, changes of lines, and all these things will happen. And that is based on our karma, based on present efforts that may change also. So that changes are also predicted. In fact, they are also predicted based on the mounts and other things. So they are also predicted. What the appearance will happen, the changes will happen because based on our efforts and based on our working methodology, our thinking methodology, and based on our intelligence, which we do over a period of time in our life. Based on that, these things will change, but that doesn't mean that's not indicated in earlier. It is always indicated in earlier also. In the beginning also it is indicating, but that makes a more and more confirmed view because the experience already there, past is already there. So the past has to be confirmed. So that's how the changes will happen in this. So we should take into that account, and it's a good, excellent lecture. I thank you very much, Murthy garu. and we can have more lectures on this subject also, if he can prepare and can give us some more and more knowledge on these subjects, fundamentals of the lines or fundamentals of the mounts or like that. He can take one subject of this and give us instead of maybe somebody who are interested have gone some time to 6 months course, they can go. But if you got time and if you got inclination to help us, you can also take this basics of the palmistry, how to read a palm, just basic knowledge. Say lines.
Okay, sir. Because I cannot go by syllabus wise, but basic
some ideas we can give to them, so that they will have some develop some confidence on that. So that will be a good thing, I hope. So kindly work on those lines and prepare another lecture for us on palmistry. Dhanyawad.
Okay.
And I'm also interested in palmistry. I was seeing from right from the 1962. My first lecture, my first coach was a person in my village. So I was seeing that, and always my wife used to say, why you say every day, why you see your hand? Used to say like that. So and later I shifted to the astrology from palmistry. Basically, I was started my career with palmistry only. I read Kero and other things also. I'm very much interested in palmistry. Thank you very much for a good lecture.
ఒకటే చెప్తాను సార్ నేను ఇక్కడ ఫర్దర్ ఎడిషన్. ఇప్పుడు ఒక వ్యక్తికి ఆరోగ్యం బాగాలేదు అనుకోండి సార్, రక్త బలహీనత ఉంటే డెఫినెట్ గా అది పామ్ లో తెలిసిపోతుంది సార్. పామ్ లో రక్త బలహీనత ఫెయిల్ అవుతుంది, పామ్ అంతా ఫెయిల్ గా అయిపోతుంది, తెల్లగా పాలిపోయి ఉంటుంది. సో రక్త బలహీనతను ఇండికేట్ చేస్తుంది. ఆ ఇండికేషన్ 4-5 months ముందే వస్తుంది. అంటే
pink hand gives a different meaning. Black hand gives some different meaning.
ఇప్పుడు ప్రభాకర్ రావు గారి హ్యాండ్ చూపిస్తున్నారు, వారిది పింక్ కలర్ లో ఉంది. పింక్ అంటే రోబస్ట్ హెల్త్ అన్నమాట, ఎక్సలెంట్ హెల్త్ అని అర్థం పింక్ అంటే. నేను నార్మల్ గా చూస్తే పింక్ హ్యాండ్ కనుక ఉంటే వాళ్ళు చాలా ఆరోగ్యవంతులు అని చెప్తా ఇమ్మీడియట్ గా, ఏం చెప్పను నేను. అట్లా పేల్ హ్యాండ్, అది కూడా క్లాసిఫికేషన్, పేల్, పింక్, ఎల్లో. మీరు ఇంకో ప్రశ్న అడగచ్చు ఇప్పుడు, మరి తెల్లవాళ్ళవి తెల్లగా ఉంటాయి కదా, అదేం చేస్తావు అని. సో ఇప్పుడు అది వాళ్ళందరినీ తెల్లగా ఉన్నా అక్కడ కూడా డిఫరెన్సియేషన్ ఉంటుంది. ఆ తెలుపులో కూడా తేడా ఉంటుంది. వాళ్ళకి బ్లడ్ సర్క్యులేషన్ ఉంటే ఒక కలర్ ఉంటుంది, బ్లడ్ సర్క్యులేషన్ తక్కువగా ఉంటే డిఫరెంట్లీ యూ కెన్ అబ్జర్వ్ విత్ మైక్రోస్కోపిక్ ఎగ్జామినేషన్ అక్కర్లేదు, కానీ మన మ్యాగ్నిఫైయింగ్ గ్లాస్ తో తెలిసిపోతుంది ఆ హ్యాండ్ లక్షణాలు. అది
ఓకే. సుందరి గారు, యూ వాంట్ టు ఆస్క్ ఎనీ క్వశ్చన్?
జస్ట్ ఒక క్వశ్చన్ మహోదయ. ఇప్పుడు ఈ ఫింగర్ ప్రింట్స్ ఉన్నాయి చూడండి,
చెప్పమ్మా.
ఈ ఫింగర్ ప్రింట్స్ కొద్ది కాలం తర్వాత ఎరేస్ అయిపోతా ఉంటాయి.
కొంచెం పెద్దగా మాట్లాడండి. ఫింగర్ ప్రింట్స్
ఈ మన 10 fingers కు కూడా ఉంటాయి కదా ఫింగర్ ప్రింట్స్.
అది అందుకే ఈ పామిస్ట్రీ అన్నది ఫింగర్ ప్రింట్స్, అది మళ్ళీ
నేను అడిగేది అది కాదనమాట. ఎరేజ్ అయిపోతా ఉంటాయి కదా, ఎందువల్ల అని అడుగుతున్నా.
ఫింగర్ ఎందుకు వస్తుందంటారా? అది
ఫింగర్ ప్రింట్స్ ఎరేజ్ అయిపోతాయి కదా, మనం ఇప్పుడు మనం ఎక్కడ పోయినా కూడా మనకు బయోమెట్రిక్స్
అంటే అది కాదమ్మా. అదే నేను మీకు మీ ప్రశ్న నాకు అర్థమైంది. నేను ఆధార్ కార్డు లో వెళ్ళి బయోమెట్రిక్ ఇస్తే నాకు 4000 పెట్టినా రావు వెంబడే. వాడు ఏం చేస్తాడు ఇమ్మీడియట్ గా శానిటైజర్ రాస్తాడు, వేళకి రాసి శానిటైజర్ రుద్ది మళ్ళీ బయోమెట్రిక్ పెట్టమంటాడు, అప్పుడు వస్తుంది. బై ఏజ్ దే గెట్ ఫెడెడ్, బై ఏజ్ దే గెట్ ఫెడెడ్. అంతేగాని అసలు పోవటం అంటూ ఉండదు. నీకు ఈ వీటి మీద కూడా దీన్ని ఏమంటాం మేము, విరల్స్ అంటాం. ఆ విరల్స్ లో కూడా 4-5 రకాలు ఉన్నాయి. కొన్ని స్క్వేర్ గా ఉంటాయి, కొన్ని టెంటెడ్ ఉంటాయి, కొన్ని ఆర్చ్ ఉంటాయి, కొన్ని పిరమిడ్ టైప్ లో ఉంటాయి. ఒక్కో దానికి ఒక క్వాలిటీ అట్రిబ్యూట్ చేస్తాం దానికి కూడా మేము. టెంటెడ్ ఆర్చ్ అంటే వాడి నేచర్ ఒకటి. సో ఈ గీతలు ఉన్నాయి, సుడులు ఉన్నాయి, ఈ గీతలు ఉన్నాయి అంటారే కదా రౌండ్ గా, దానికి కూడా మేము ఇంపార్టెన్స్ ఇస్తాం. అది దానిని బట్టి కూడా ఒక వ్యక్తి యొక్క ఒకటి కనుక దాన్ని ఏమంటారంటే, అది ఇట్స్ ఎ టెయింటెడ్ ఆర్చ్ అయితే కనుక, టెంట్ మాదిరి ఉండి ఆర్చ్డ్ పోర్షన్ లో ఉంటే వాడు దొంగ, ఈజ్ థీఫ్ బేసిక్ అన్నమాట. చూడగానే చెప్పేస్తాం, అరే నీకు టెంటెడ్ ఆర్చ్ ఉందిరా ఇక్కడ, నార్మల్ గా ఇట్లా మామూలుగా సుడిలాగా ఉంటుంది, అది నార్మల్.
చక్రము అంటారు.
శంకు చక్రాలు ఉంటే మంచిది, అది వేరే విషయం. అవన్నీ ఇంకా ఉన్నాయి. అంటే కొన్ని ఇప్పుడు శంకు చక్రం అంటూ ఉండదు, కొన్ని సైన్స్ ఉన్నాయి. ఇందాక మాట్లాడినప్పుడు కూడా ఫిష్ సైన్ ఒకటి, పల్లకి సైన్ ఒకటి, గొడుగు సైన్ ఒకటి, పాలంక్విన్ సైన్, అంబ్రెల్లా సైన్, ఫ్లవర్ పాట్ సైన్. ఈ సైన్స్ ఏర్పడితే దే హ్యావ్ గుడ్ సిగ్నిఫికెన్స్ అన్నమాట. ఒక మంచికి దారి తీస్తాయి అని మనం చెప్తాం, ఒక శుభవార్త వింటారు మీరని. సో అవన్నీ ఇంకా చాలా ఉన్నాయి, సైన్స్ కి వెళ్ళాలా నేను. అదే ఇందాక చెప్పాను
అని నాకు వస్తాను అంతే.
వయసును బట్టి ఫేడ్ అవుతాయి. ఆరోగ్యం బాగాలేకపోతే రక్తహీనత వల్ల కూడా కొంచెం ప్రాబ్లం వస్తుంది. ఎక్కువ రక్త పోటు ఉంటే కూడా తెర్రగా ఉంటుంది మన హ్యాండ్. ఎరుపు వేరు, పింక్ వేరు మళ్ళీ. సో ఓకే,
ధన్యవాదాలు మహోదయ.
నమస్కారం.
బేస్ చక్రాలు శంఖాలు బేస్ మారదు, లోపల బేస్ అన్నది బేస్ మారదు, ఆ పై మారుతాయి అంతే. వర్కింగ్ మెథడ్స్ వల్ల మనం పనిచేసే విధానం వల్ల మారిపోతూ ఉంటాయి, ఏజ్ వల్ల మారిపోతుంటాయి. ఏకచక్రే మహాభోగి, ద్విచక్రే రాజపూజ, త్రిచక్రే లోక సంచారి, చతుశ్చక్రే మహాపండిత.
అది
సో దిస్ బేసిక్ రూల్ ఈస్ దేర్ ఫర్ దట్. ఏకచక్రే మహాభోగి, ద్విచక్రే రాజపూజిత, త్రిచక్రే లోక సంచారి, చతుశ్చక్రే మహాపండిత. So people having 4 chakras on the hand will become a good pandit.
ఇప్పుడు మనం ఇంగ్లీష్ లో విరల్స్ అంటాం సార్, ఇంగ్లీష్ లో అదే సుడిగుండం టైప్ లో ఉంటుంది కదా, అది కరెక్ట్ గా ఫార్మేషన్ చక్రం.
క్లియర్ చక్రాలు ఉంటే దెన్ దట్ లాజిక్ దట్ శ్లోకం
కరెక్ట్ ఫార్మేషన్ ఉంటే చక్రం, కోన్ టైప్ లో ఉంటే శంఖు, అంతే, అంతకంటే ఇంకేం లేదు అక్కడ. దాన్ని బట్టి మనం చెప్తాము. ఈ మీరు చెప్పిన శ్లోకంని దాన్ని అన్వయించుకొని మనం చెప్పడం.
గురువు గారు ఇప్పుడు చేతి వేలు కూడా పొడుగ్గా ఉండడం, పొట్టిగా ఉండడం, లావుగా ఉండడం, దాని కూడా మన క్యారెక్టర్, మన స్వభావం.
క్లబ్డ్ ఫింగర్స్ అని ఉంటాయి, స్క్వేర్ ఫింగర్స్ ఉంటాయి, కోనిక్ ఫింగర్స్ ఉంటాయి, షార్ట్ ఫింగర్స్ ఉంటాయి, లాంగ్ ఫింగర్స్ ఉంటాయి. ఫింగర్ నెయిల్స్ కూడా లాంగ్ ఉంటాయి. కొందరికి ఫింగర్ పొడుగ్గా ఉంటుంది, నైల్ ఇంతే ఉంటుంది, చాలా పొట్టిగా ఉంటుంది ఈ నైల్. దాని ప్రకారం కూడా వాడి క్యారెక్టరిస్టిక్ ని మనం చెప్పొచ్చు.
నైల్ యొక్క పొజిషన్ బట్టి ఏ అంగం పాడైపోయిందో చెప్పొచ్చు.
అలాగే నైల్ మీద
వీటిలో ఇన్ని రకాల శ్రేష్టం ఏంటారు మరి?
అట్లా కాదండి, శ్రేష్టం అంటూ లేదు. ఇప్పుడు మనం ఒకటి కంక్లూజన్ కి రావాలన్నప్పుడు ఇవన్నీ బేరీజ్ వేసుకొని, ఇప్పుడు ఎలా అయితే అస్ట్రాలజీలో అష్టక వర్గ చూస్తాము, నవాంశ చూస్తాము, తర్వాత వింశోత్తర దశ చూస్తాము, తర్వాత ఇవన్నీ ఏమేమి చూస్తాము, రెట్రాగేషన్ చూస్తాము, పిఎస్సి చూస్తాము, ఇవన్నీ ఏమేమి చూస్తామో అలాగే ఇక్కడ కూడా ఇవన్నీ చూస్తాం. దీస్ ఆర్ ఆల్ ద పారామీటర్స్. అన్ని చూసుకొని వాడు అడిగిన ప్రశ్నకి మనము సమాధానం చెప్పడానికి కరెక్ట్ ఆల్టర్నేటివ్ చూజ్ చేసుకొని అది చెప్పితే వాడు విఘ్నుడు. అది అంతకంటే.
ఓకే, థ్యాంక్స్ అండి. వెంకటేష్ గారు ఏంటి క్విక్లీ
సారీ ఫర్ ది ఇంటరప్షన్. చాలా బాగుంది స్పీచ్ ఇవాళ, వెరీ మచ్ ఇంప్రెస్డ్ సార్, వెరీ థ్యాంక్ఫుల్ టు యూ. నాకు చిన్న డౌట్, మీరు అనే దానికి లేడీస్ కి ఎందుకు హ్యాండ్ చూస్తారంటే దానికి ఒక స్ట్రైక్ అయింది. ఇది ఇట్ మే బి ఫన్నీ థింగ్. ఇన్ ఓల్డెన్ డేస్ జనరల్లీ లేడీస్ దే యూస్ టు యూస్ ఓన్లీ ద రైట్ హ్యాండ్ ఫర్ క్లీనింగ్ ది వెజల్స్ అండ్ అదర్ థింగ్స్ ఎక్సెట్రా. సో that may be one of the reason, because they all that lines will go.
అదే
no possibility.
కాదండి, అది వాస్తవం కాదండి, అది వాస్తవం. ప్రభాకర్ రావు సార్ చెప్పారు, సార్ చెప్పినట్టుగా అది ఒకటి ఇందాక వారు చెప్పారు కదా సారు, అది అర్ధనారీశ్వర రూపం అని. సో అది ఒక కారణం కావచ్చు.
Now, Veda Samskruti garu, can you chant Prarthana, please?
स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीमहीषाः। गो ब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं। लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु। काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः।
येषो युञ्चो रहितो ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः। अपुत्राः पुत्रिणः सन्तु, पुत्रिणः सन्तु पौत्रिणः, अधनाः सदनाः सन्तु, जीवन्तु शरदां शतम्। हरिः ओम्। सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः
सर्वे सन्तु
निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि
पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग्
भवेत्। ॐ
असत्यं
शान्ति शान्तिः।
ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ। नमस्कार।
Okay. Somebody behind is talking. Can you all mute yourself? And let us now.
Sorry, it's not closed.
Sorry? No. Now we will have Janagana Mana. I'm talking about closed means, mute yourself. Sorry. Now, let us request Chakravarti Garu to recite Janagana Mana. Let us all recite Janagana Mana. Mute your mics, please.
जय हे भारत भाग्य
पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा विंध्य यमुना गंगा उज्जल जलधितरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव सुभाषित मांगे जय जय गात जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय
जय हिंद जय हिंद जय श्रीराम जय श्रीराम रेపు లెక్చర్ ఉంది అగైన్ ట్యూస్డే లెక్చర్ ఉంది ప్లీజ్ కమ్ టుమారో అగైన్ లెక్చర్ ఇస్ దేర్ అండ్ అగైన్ ట్యూస్డే on 15th day again 15th August